In this series, we've talked about locomotives, we've talked about rolling stock, we've even taken the time to talk about people and steamrollers. But there's one thing we haven't talked about yet, and to finally complete the Ffarquhar roster, I think it's about time we add tractors to that list. Ladies and gentlemen, today we'll be taking a look at Terence. Terence first appeared in the Railway series book Tank Engine Thomas Again, which was published in 1949. His last appearance was in Thomas and Victoria, published in 2007, and like the other characters from the Railway series, was created by the Reverend W. Awdry. Terence is actually based on the Caterpillar Model 70, the largest and last design of petrol-powered tractors, at least in the Caterpillar Tractor Company's range. In one illustration, that being in Thomas's Christmas party, Terence is drawn with a cab. However, I believe this is more of a one-off thing, and another one of those small, unfortunate inconsistencies. Although I have to admit, it is a cool look. In terms of the television series, Terence was introduced in Season 1, reprising that original role from the Railway series. He appeared as a recurring character until the 7th season, but due to the stories focusing primarily on the steam team and narrow-gauge engines from Seasons 8 to 16, he was widely neglected and remained absent for a period of time, save for a minor non-speaking role in The Great Discovery. In 2009, when the show transitioned into full CGI, Terence was absent again for 8 years. In 2017, Terence made his return, that being in the 21st season, in the episode Terence Breaks the Ice. He had also played a minor role in the 23rd series episode Diesel Do Right. Since his return in 2017, Terence has been voiced by Tom Stourton in both the British English and American English dubs of the series. Now, with all of that aside, let's get into his Gauge 1 model. Terence's model was custom built from Perspex for the first season. The model was built to run on styrofoam road and was painted in a glossy car body paint. The wheels and Caterpillar tracks were sourced from a Tiger 1 tank made by Tamiya, and in order to save space inside of the engine, he was not fitted with an eye mechanism, and instead he had his eyes black tacked into place. Terence's snowplow could be attached and then removed from his Caterpillar tracks. The two air tanks on the side of the snowplow are actually Lego pieces, sourced from the Lego space system. He also has different tools such as a plow and Trevor's trailer that could be connected to his rear towing hook. 4 different facial expressions were sculpted for Terence, although only 3 were ever used on screen, leaving his concerned face basically unused. Like the others, the faces are sculpted in clay, and from that resin casts were made using a silicone mold. As if you guys didn't already know that. Now, throughout the model series, Terence's model would see some minor modifications. For example, in Season 2, he gained an additional black line running across the side of him, but largely would stay basically the same. Terence's model is now on display at Drayton Manor and is wearing his content face mask. His snowplow was broken around 2010 and his stack has completely snapped off, but both were repaired and glued back in 2019. Terence was recreated from scratch in CGI by ARC Productions / Jamfield Toronto in 2016 for the production of the 21st season. His model, like the others, was made in Maya, a 3D animation and modeling software, and photographs of his Gauge 1 model were used for referencing. However, Terence did have several modifications that made him stick out a bit. For example, he completely lost his widow's peak, instead gaining eyebrows, his lining was completely removed, his engine was redesigned, his face became a bit more elongated, and he also gained rivets around his front, but that's just a few. His wheels and treads were actually reused for Dexter, as one of the various types of wheels he imagines himself with, and his treads and wheels were later used again for the Walking Bridge, in the 24th season episode The Inventor's Spectacular Bridge. Unfortunately, that sums up the history of Terence, however. I don't know about you guys, but definitely a favorite character of mine. As a kid, my focus was, of course, primarily on the locomotives, but Terence was a character that managed to stick out despite that, and at least to me, seeing him was always a pleasure. But how do you guys feel about Terence? Is he a character they should have used more? Do you enjoy his CGI look? Be sure to comment down below and let me know. Also, let me know if there's any other characters you guys would like to see for this series. This episode was suggested to me through a comment, rather than a poll, but I'll do my best to get back to polls as soon as I can. As always, guys, thanks again for watching, and hopefully this episode was a fun one to watch. If you did enjoy, be sure to like and subscribe for even more train content, and as always, guys, thanks again for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.
Oh, thank you, Terence. Your caterpillars are splendid, said Thomas. I hope you'll be sensible now, Thomas, said his driver. I'll try, said Thomas, and he puffed slowly away.